Good evening. Have you ever heard these words? I'm too fat to get a boyfriend. Should I really date my ex-girlfriend? Or things like, well, actually, I can't even think of it, so I need a little bit of help. And I've got a couple of life coaches with me tonight who are going to help us to work out some of the key points of finding a great partner. I've got with me Jacqui Flinn, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Remy.
And Matt Cooksey.
Good to see you.
So tell us about Matt. Is it a perfect partner trying to find?
Well, you know, what's a perfect partner? I guess amazing partner, you know, is probably a better word. And I took a workshop just a couple of weeks ago, and I set the workshop up for 12 people, and 41 people turned up, because it seems that our community, you know, really grapples with this question. And so in the workshop, I went through a number of the steps that are, you know, people that will really help people to get in the best possible position to find the most amazing partner who's a really good fit for them. So I thought we could share a few of those today.
Great, let's do it.
So one of the things that everyone laughed about in the workshop was when we talked about, are you so busy looking for Mr. or
Ms.
Right
Sis.
that you're actually not being Mr. Right, you know? So you're so tied into, well, they're too fat and they're too thin or they're too this or whatever, that actually, hang on a minute, what's my life like? Would I date me? That's one of the questions I ask people. Would you date you? Is your life together as you would want it? So that was one of the first tips, and often where people fall down is they're so sort of looking outside themselves that you know, their own house isn't necessarily...
Needs cleaning.
That's right.
Yep.
100% would not date myself.
I'm not...
Seriously.
Not pointing your fingers. I mean...
Would never do it. No, I would not do it. I agree. That's a good point.
So that was one of the first things we talked about. And then the second thing sort of relates to what we just said. You know how people talk about it like, oh, they were too this, they were too that. I went on this date and, you know, they were just this, or they had bad breath, or they were whatever. You know, what we tend to do as human beings is we focus on the things that we don't want. And it's a really, really bad habit. And a much better habit is to focus on what it is that we do want. So that's really the second tip, is figure out what you do want. And there's a really good practical way to do that. And the way to do it is to look at the list of things that you don't like about people. And when you've got that list of things, you then know actually what you do want. Because if I know that I don't want someone with bad breath, then I know that I want somebody.
Or is that Listerine?
Listerine, absolutely.
Correct.
So no product placement. It could be any kind of mint.
Or any other kind of
We're
mint
not
or
sponsored
breath
by
freshener.
them. No.
So that's the second thing. Focus on what you want. Don't focus on what you don't want, because you'll get whatever you focus on. The third thing is, you know, we've all been through it. We've been through these, kissed all these frogs and seen all these people, and then you see this guy and you're on a date with this person and you're like, holy shit, this is like the mother load. And of course we just turn into a complete nervous wreck or a complete bunny boiler.
The old Channing Tatum. The old...
You got it. And so
Hang on, what does that mean?
He's beautiful. Beautiful looking man. He's
you know,
beautiful.
he's there, you know, and he's right in front of you, and we're just a mess. You know, we're a total mess. And so there's two things that come out of that. One is work on your own confidence as well. Don't expect to just suddenly get confident. Actually work on it. You can build your own confidence. And then secondly, don't get so attached to the desire to have a partner, and that might sound like a really screwy thing to suggest, but the more we cling to wanting that person, ironically, the less likely we are to actually get it. So one of the keys is to really just relax.
And feel good.
And feel good.
It's all about feeling good.
It really is, because if you don't feel good and then you go on a date or you meet somebody, they pick up on it. They can see that.
I can feel that energy.
Oh, okay, right. So what would be a way of feeling better? Would be like making sure there's other stuff in your life?
Well, definitely making sure there's other things in your life, but it can just be just do whatever it takes to feel good. So if you're going to go out on a date and you've just had a shitty day at work or whatever, you know, do something to get yourself feeling good before you go on the date. You know, go and take a walk. You know, maybe go and listen to some awesome music that you love.
For mine, it's Flashdance.
Really?
Yeah, really.
But get your flash dance on, you know, whatever it takes, but get yourself into a good feeling place before you go on your date, you know, that kind of stuff. And I guess one of the other things that the guys and girls who were at the workshop, thank you, realised was, I'm terrible for that, by the way, was that sometimes our concept of love isn't quite right. We've confused either, in the gay world, love with lust or need. Yeah.
Well said.
And often that's where we get stuck. So I went through a process of re-educating myself about what is love, what is it, and there's some great books out there. There's one called The Mastery of Love by this guy, Manuel de Ruiz, and it's absolutely a brilliant book and will change your concept of what love's all about. So that would be a great place to start.
Okay, great. There was a crash there, by the way. That's why Matt looked away. All right, let's move on to the next tip. What else have we got?
Well, you know, we live in such a world of the gay apps, you know, whether it be Grindr or whether it be
Pink Sofa.
Thank you. All of those places that we go. And they're great. And in the workshop, we had this big debate where half the room had to argue for them and half had to argue against. And what we really concluded is, you know, yes, get on the apps if you feel good with them. Some people struggle with them. They feel addicted to them. They feel their self-esteem struggles. If that's the case, get off it. Don't go on there. Yeah. But if you can relate to them well and you can feel good about what you're doing on there, great.
Set an intention to how you want to feel.
That's right. But you know, there's other ways to meet people as well. And you know,
different ways.
You can find other ways to find good people.
Actually, and if I may interject, if you go on the web and find a website called Meetup, it's basically all sorts of different ways that people meet up, and there's actually quite a few LGBTI groups there, and they're not about going to bars, they're about like, you know, really nerdy things like computer games or you know, role-playing
softball
or
for
dinner,
ladies.
softball, the chapstick set.
Yeah, you got me. You got me.
Beautiful. So we're kind of wrapping up. So what's kind of one final tip that you think is like just a really great point to start?
I just think it's about relaxing
Yeah.
about this whole thing and being clear about what it is that you want. And those are two sides of the same coin. Sometimes the more we're clear about what we want, the more tense we get about where the hell is this person.
Yeah.
And so the more we're clear but relaxed at the same time, it just starts to happen.
Yeah, I really like that idea of knowing what you want. There was one exercise that I thought was really great. You just write down all of the things that you would like in a partner. Take a look at your list. First of all, if there's 250 things on there, probably you can just, you know, find the top 7.
I have a client who started out with 250 things, you know, and totally agree with you.
Beautiful.
Too many things.
Excellent.
Where's the call?
Thank you very much for joining us, Matt and Jacqui. That's all the time that we have for the moment for finding perfect partners. But that's your first point, is make a nice list, cut it down to 7 things. That's what you're looking for. Not negatives, positives. Thanks a lot for joining us.